Hello, everyone. It is Chavon Anette, and I'm so excited to be back here with you all for another segment of the Power and Grace Leader Show, interviewing incredible women who are walking in purpose. And I'm really excited because oftentimes we look at where someone is and we don't get the chance to really hear them journey through their process and what their process was like. And so I'm really excited to be interviewing this amazing woman who's doing amazing things in her community and beyond. And so her name is Miss Lindsay Anderson. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in now. So I hope you all are excited for a wonderful interview. Hi, Lindsay. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing excellent. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm here. We made
Yes,
it.
yes. That's so good. I am so excited to be up here. I do want to tell you thank you for even doing it this week because I know we had planned for last week and we were unable to do last week due to some, of course, things that happened with the family. But I'm so glad that when I inboxed you and I said, "Hey, can we change the date? I need a week. I need a week to just be with family, just to support my husband and everything." And I was so glad that you said yes. That is no problem. Is it the same time? And I said, yes, let's do the same time. So I'm just so thankful for you for being willing to adjust and just be flexible, even during this whole thing.
Of course. No, not a problem. I appreciate you reaching out to me. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Of course. So before we get into the interview, I would love for you to just take a moment to really introduce yourself.
Okay. So my name is Lindsay Anderson. I'm the founder of Vision Driven LLC and Vision Driven 757 Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization focused on the youth in the Hampton Roads area. I am a mom of an awesome 5-year-old daughter named Aria, who is my mini. I recreated myself. I'm a recent graduate of Old Dominion University with a Bachelor's of Arts in Communications. I teach fifth grade reading at Victory Elementary School, and I bake. I do a lot of things like event planning and coordinating. I connect people. I'm really big on networking and giving people a platform. And I'm just me.
I love it. So many amazing, amazing things that you're doing. So I'm excited about interviewing you, because I can't wait to really to talk to you and allow you to share with us how you got to where you are because you are doing incredible things.
Thank
And
you.
so, my first question for you is, since the COVID-19 pandemic has really started, I have seen you doing incredible things on your social media and throughout the community. You have been delivering bags to families during this time. And we know that unfortunately, what has happened, being jobs closing down and people losing their jobs, and just a lot of different circumstances that have really taken people by surprise. And thankfully, it seems like we're nearing the end of this situation. Things are getting better. But you delivering these bags, what is really your why behind that? What made you decide I need to do something during this time?
Honestly, it like not even being cliche, it was God.
Yeah.
I was literally sitting in my bathtub. Like I was just like, I was like, oh, the schools are closed. I don't have to go to work. I don't have anything to do. And I was sitting there and I had just read an email from the district saying, that they were going to be doing on-site pickups for lunches, for breakfast and lunch for the kids to come, but the students had to be there and it was between like 10 and 2 or something like that. And I was like, well, that's cool. But then I was sitting there and I was thinking, and something was like, but there's people who can't get to these pickup sites.
That's
There are
right.
people who are their parents are still working in their home by themselves. There's kids out here that are just they're on their own, really.
Right.
They are raising themselves or they're raising their siblings and their parents are there, but they're not really there, or they have to go to work or they don't have transportation. I was like, so
Right.
what about them? And I reached out to a couple of friends and I said, I'm thinking about making a couple lunches. I'll put it on social media, see if anyone needs anything, and going from there. And it turned into a whole thing. And
Right. That's so amazing. And I love that. It shows, I heard TD Jakes say this, and I often quote it. He says that we are solutions to a problem. and you saw a possible problem, families may not be able to get to these sites, and you decided to be a solution. That you didn't just think about, hey, someone might not be able to get to the site. You said, what am I going to do about this problem? What are we going to do? And I think that's so honorable and so noteworthy that you would decide to do that. And I know that from your willingness, it has literally helped other people to say, what can I do?
Yeah.
What do I need to do as well? So that's really amazing. And I love that you called up some friends and you had people who had your back that said, yes, I am all in with you.
I've even made connections to new people since doing this solely off of what I've been doing. You know, people who are starting their own organizations or who have been having organizations and just needed someone to partner with or help them out. Like I've met people who volunteer with me on a regular basis. You know, not everyone was a friend. These are people who just reached out to me via social media, or they got my number off the flyer and they called it and they were like, you know, I see what you're doing, I want to help. Like, do you need donations, do you need hands, like what do you need? So I've even made my own connections, and I feel like, you know, when it is of God, it just kind of flows, and this has just flowed so effortlessly this whole time. So I know that, you know, I'm doing what's right, I'm walking in purpose because of how effortless it is.
Wow, I love that. And that's such a beautiful even testimony in that is effortless. You know, when you think about burdens, and I often think about the scripture where Jesus says, my burden is easy, you know, my yoke is light. And when you do it with God, when you partner with him, you saying, look, God, I'm doing this with what you're telling me to do. I'm partnering with you. And I just ask that you lead, you direct, you show me how, you give me strategy. And you know, he does that. And so that's so amazing that you said it's effortless. And I really think that that's the way it will be when we really partner with God. So I really thank you for sharing that. That's so good. And so I wanted to know, how many bags have you been able to keep count about? How many bags have you been able to give out?
So today was actually another milestone. We've done over 3,000 lunches
Oh my
since we
goodness.
started. We hit that today.
Wow, that is incredible. That is so incredible.
It's
So I
awesome.
want you all to make sure that you link up with Lindsay after this. If there's a way, if she will tell you how you can donate, how you can support, and different things like that. We need to get on board so it turns from 3,000 to 6,000. Let's double it, right? And
Good.
so that is so amazing. That is beautiful. So I'm glad I asked that question because I had no idea it was that many.
Yeah, it's been over
Wow.
3,000 lunches. It's awesome. It's amazing that we
That
can do
is.
it day in and day out and not worry about funds or resources. Like everything, something always happens. Someone always comes
Wow.
through, even when it looks really kind of narrow, looks a little hard, looks a little tight.
Right.
Something always happens right before. So I don't worry about it. You know,
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't, because it works out. It's been working out, and we've been able to help so many people. And honestly, I plan to keep on doing this even after the pandemic, because even during the summer, kids are in the same situations that they're in now. You know, it doesn't stop people being in need of help or not
That's
being mobile.
true.
That doesn't end with a pandemic. That's people's everyday lives. And if I can do something to fix it, like, or help, at least help, you know,
Yes.
if I can give you one meal out of the three that you need, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to do that.
That's amazing. And I love that because it's saying this is something that I believe that you believe, and I believe with you that God is telling you to continue,
Mhm.
to continue. And that's so good that from this situation, it launched you into something that you maybe did not plan before. And it's like, man, this is something I have to continue. And that's so amazing. That's so amazing. And that's such a God thing.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
such a God thing. So my next question for you, because on your page, I love it so much. You title yourself as the youth event coordinator and youth empowerment speaker, and I love that so much because I too am a teacher, and so I can appreciate that. And so my question for you is, when did you discover your passion for the youth? When did you discover that passion that said, I must do something for the young people?
So when I started Vision Driven, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, it had nothing to do with kids. it had nothing to do with the youth. Like I've always been involved with youth, like through church, through
Right.
community, even in school, like just working with younger grade levels and things like that. Like that's always been a thing for me. In college, I volunteered at 4 kids because I just liked being around kids. It's always been a knack. But when I started Vision Driven, I was trying to do it for like small businesses. I wanted like to try to help small businesses grow and connect and get them a platform and a space. And I tried to do this big event like as my coming out thing, and it was an epic fail. Like it blew up in my face. No one was buying tickets. No one wanted to be
Oh,
vendors. Nothing was happening. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I put all this money and time into it, and nothing is happening. And I went to talk to my mom about it, and I told her, I want to do, I don't know what to do. I don't
right.
know what I'm going to do. And she was like, but what about your kids?
Wow.
What about your babies? Like you always talk about you want to help the babies. Like, and even, my daughter's father, he said the same thing. He's like, you're about kids. Like be about the kids. And so I was like, okay, scratch it. Throw the whole thing away. A month and like a few days before my event was supposed to happen, I changed it. I canceled the whole other thing and I created Building Bosses, which was the youth empowerment conference. And I had like 75 attendees and
Wow.
like kids, their parents, like everyone was coming out, everyone was asking questions, everyone was so engaging. And I was like, okay, God. I thought I was supposed to be doing this, but it was actually this. That's my fault. Let me back up. And everything that I did was brought around them. It turned into like just looking more into them and seeing what they do and how they move and how they act. And that's how I got into the school system. So I could see them every day and one-on-one type thing. Let me
Wow.
see how you move when your parents are around. Let me see how you feel amongst your peers. Like, so I could kind of gear and shift myself towards them in everything that I do, so I can see firsthand. I'm like, okay, so y'all need to learn about this. You need to know how to handle this. You need to learn how to do this. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So
That's so good. I love that so much. And it's funny because sometimes you will start one way and then you will be led right where you need to be.
mhm.
And so that's so good that you had that heart and even that posture to hear. When your mom said something, when your daughter's father said something, you had that heart to hear and say, you know what, that is me.
Yeah.
My passion is for the youth. And I often say, like, before Power and Grace Leader Show ever started, I had a passion for just empowering people, just encouraging people in whatever way I could. And I kept hearing, you're called to the women, you're called to the women. And I was like, well, I don't want to just be about the women. I want to be about everybody. Everybody needs God. Everybody needs encouragement. That was so me. And I just had to say, you know what? No, okay, God, you are calling me to the women. You are calling me to the women. So I'm going to do it. And since then, it has just been so fulfilling for me doing it the way God wanted me to do it from the beginning. So it's good that you were like, yes, right away. But I was so resistant. I was like, no, not just the women. But now it's like, I'm all about the women now. So it's amazing
When
that
it's
God
real,
was
it's real. It flows. And ever since, like anytime I try something that's not aligned with what I've been doing, what I'm supposed to be doing, it doesn't work. So it's
right.
like it's kind of after a while you figure out, like I'm just gonna stop. I'm put myself through things I have no business doing. I'm not supposed
Yeah,
to be over there. I'm supposed to be here. So let me just stay where I'm at because this works.
right.
Whatever my next step is will be revealed to me. And once it's revealed, then we move on.
There
So
you go. I love that. That's so true. That's so good. So, my next question for you is, what topics do you normally speak on? Because you are also a youth empowerment speaker. So, what are some topics that are really good for young people, maybe even for parents to kind of piggyback on some of the things that you really talk to the students about when you talk with them? What are some big topics that are important for our youth today?
So my biggest thing is self-awareness and like,
Mm,
being comfortable in your own skin,
yes.
self-esteem, like building yourself up, just walking tall and being yourself unapologetically. When I started this, one of my platforms was Your Life Matters. And it
Mm,
was because I was just noticing that the suicide rates were so high amongst a number of kids that were so young, like 5
right.
and 6, like my kid is 5. So that really struck a nerve with me. And then there were a lot of things with like police relations and bullying and things like that. So I put on a whole platform about, like, okay, let's come together, let's talk. I'm gonna bring in a school counselor, I'm gonna bring in the police, I'm gonna bring in the kids, some teachers and their parents, and I want them to ask questions. I want the parents to hear the questions that they have to ask, and I want us to have a genuine conversation about it. I tell kids all the time, like, you are in control of you. No one else can control you. Don't give anyone else that power over you.
That's so good.
Walk with your head high because you are important. You matter. Last year it was "Don't Drop Your Crown," and initially I focused on the girls because it was "Don't Drop Your Crown, Queen," and because I remember being that young girl. I remember feeling some type of way about how I looked and how I was perceived,
Yes.
how boys felt about me and how people felt about me in general, and it made me hang my head sometimes. Not
Mm-hmm.
worthy or up to it or better than or good enough, and I wanted to stop that stigma. So understand that the skin that you are in is perfect and it's
Yes.
beautiful, and it was created especially for you. Like, the things that you go through are to mold and shape you, because who you are going to be is so much better than who you even realize you're going to
Come
be.
on.
So I want these girls, these boys, all of them to know that you are a king, you are a queen, you are royalty, and you are
Yes.
beautiful, and you are perfect in however you are. Wherever you are, however you land, the situations that you're in are temporary. The things that you feel are temporary, but you are forever. And to leave your mark, to walk with purpose, and to feel like you're going to come out of this okay, because you will, because people care about you, because you are loved, because you are special, because you are important. So that's always been my thing. In addition to all that, that's me,
That's
but
beautiful.
I always want them to know too, like, how to become functioning adults,
Come
how
on.
to make good decisions, when you get a job, how to keep your money. Like, yeah, spend some stuff on yourself, but save,
Yes.
how to build a resume to make it look like something, how to speak it, because a lot of these kids don't know how to speak. Like, my newest thing now is an emotional intelligence. Like, they don't understand it, and a
Yeah.
lot of it come off as anger. And I'm like, okay, so how are we going to regroup? How are we going to refocus? How are we going to change this so that you understand how to tell someone that you're not okay, that
Yeah.
that you're upset, and it doesn't come off as like angry and people completely miss the mark of what's really going on. Like, let's get to the root of the real situation and let's talk about it and dissect it so that we can all be great together.
Yes.
Life after high school is a big thing that I'm working on now too. It's not just college. If you want to go, great, but you have so many other options. If it's not for you, you can go into the military, you can go into trade school, you can become an entrepreneur. I know plenty of those. I was
Yes.
looking for somebody, what do you want to do? Who are you trying to be? Because I promise you, I know someone I can connect you to. But at the same time, if you're going to go to college, let's do it right. Let's get some
Yes.
scholarships.
Yes.
Let's not get into debt. You know,
Amen.
internship so that you are guaranteed a job when you get out of here. So, like, I want our kids to become so functionally sound that they know that the decisions they're making are the best for their lives. And, because these are the kids that are going to take over for us. They are going to be our
That's right.
members. They are going to be our mayors and our doctors and our lawyers. They're going to be our presidents. And if they're not sound now, it's going to take them longer later.
That's so true. That's so true. Oh my goodness. You have said so much. That was just so good. That was so good. Where you deal with basically their identity. And I love that you said unapologetically. And that's what I'm all about. Even with the women, that is so important. And especially for our youth, because the earlier that people learn these things, the better off they will be in their futures.
Right.
Because there are a lot of things that I know for me as a woman that I've come into the knowledge of and the understanding of later on in life. But imagine if I had really grabbed a hold of that when I was younger. Oh my goodness. It's
Mhm.
no telling what I would be doing or where I would be. But that's
Right.
the importance of giving back, because what we did not know, what we did not understand, we're able to give back to the next generation. And I think that is so beautiful and so wonderful. And I love that you brought up emotional intelligence. I am one who is really, really big on language and what you say. And so emotional intelligence is a big thing that is so important and so big for our youth, because sometimes their emotions really can get the best of them, because it
Yeah.
takes a level of experience and understanding for you to start to really manage your emotions. So to be able to get that under control while you're younger, oh my goodness, they're going to be a force as they get older, so that's really good. And then I love that you said to prepare them to be functionally sound. That is so, so good. I wrote a book because I'm a high school teacher, and it's called Turning High School into a Launch Pad. And that was my desire, to help students be prepared for life after high school. And I
Yeah.
love how you put it, functionally sound, that even if college is not your choice, there are so many different options. As a special education teacher, everyone doesn't go to college. So we are all about creating paths and avenues that are going to best fit those students to, so that they can be functionally sound, so that they can get a job, make money, eventually live on their own, and different things like that. So I love that you are saying that, because that doesn't just go for special education students, that goes for students across the board. And so I
Yeah.
think that's so, so good.
Thank you.
That's so good. So my next question for you is, what has been your greatest challenge, maybe, or obstacle that you've had to overcome, so that you could really be walking in your purpose? Because we heard about when you said yes to focusing in on the youth, and then we see where you are now with developing this system where you've been able to feed 3,000 young people, give these bags out to these families. So what has been the in between phase to really allow you to get from when you first said yes to youth to where you are now, and all the great things that you're doing? A conference where there were over 75 people who signed up. That's amazing. That's incredible. So what was the journey like? What were some things that you really had to overcome to get where you are now?
The biggest thing was getting out of my own way. I doubted myself a lot.
Wow.
And I come from entrepreneurs. I come from hustlers. My sister's always been about um she's my sister networks. Everyone knows my sister. Everyone knew my sister before they knew me. And for a while it was like, oh, you're Jelana's sister and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, but I'm trying to be my own person. And so I was frustrated because I'm like, people don't know me. People don't want to support me. People are not gonna come out. And like, if you notice, I don't ever put my name or my face on any of my flyers, because after a while I was like, okay, you know what? It's not even about me.
Wow.
And then for a while, I focused a lot on like the numbers, the attendees, and I'm like, oh, there's only 20 people here. But at the end of the day, I kind of realized it's only supposed to be 20 people here.
Come on.
It's supposed to be intimate. It's supposed to be small. I only need to reach one. I only need to impact one. I only need to have one person take home what I said and apply it to their life.
Woo, come on.
Need one. And once I wrapped my head around that, numbers did not matter.
Yeah.
The people who were there were the people who I gave my attention and my focus and my energy to, because you came here because you needed this. You
Yes.
want to get something from this. So I had to stop doubting myself. I had to get out of my own way, because I was impatient for a while too. Like, I gotta go, 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 go. I gotta move, 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 move. I gotta do this, do that, and I'm like, and then things would start colliding, and I would be stressed out, and I would be looking crazy in the face, and nothing was working. And it's because I was trying to do too much too soon.
Right.
I've had ideas for events, and I still have ideas for events that I have yet to execute, because it wasn't time yet, and it's not time yet. But when it is time, it will flow and it will work. So I was my biggest obstacle. I was my own biggest obstacle. It wasn't necessarily like money or people or anything like that, because I can talk to anybody. I will reach out to anybody. I don't have to know you. I will be in your inbox like you are my best friend. Hey, girl, I have an idea. I know you do this. Don't you want to come help? That's not a thing. I was in my own way because I would be afraid to say, you know what, I need help. You know what, I can't do this by myself. You know what, maybe this won't work right now, but it's okay, because it's going to work later.
That's right.
Once I get out of my own way, once I was realized I'm not the one that is in control, and that my steps have already been ordered,
Come
that
on.
we're good on it.
Yes.
Even at the beginning of this year, I was so frustrated because things weren't happening the way that I wanted them to happen. And I was not understanding why things were so messed up in my own mind. Because in reality, they weren't that bad. But in my mind, I'm like, this
Mhm.
sucks. This is not good. I don't like it. This, that, and the third. I'm frustrated because this is not, God, this is not what we talked about 2 weeks ago. So how did I end up here if this is not what, but it was because I had me mixed in there.
That's
You
good.
know, and once I got out of my way, like, yeah, a whole pandemic happened. And in the midst of a global disaster, I was being blessed. And I was being blessed enough to bless others. And that's how I kind of just knew. I'm like, okay, shut up, Lindsay. Girl, get out of your way, get out of your head. Just let it happen. Let it be what it is. You're great on your own.
Yeah.
Do that. And I think it was too, I had to accept how great I am. Like, not even
That's
to
so
sound
good.
be honest with myself. Like, I've done things that people wish they could do.
Yes, you have.
I've done things so fearlessly that people are afraid to even start. And that's because of who I am as a person and who I was made to be. So I can't sleep on myself and then expect me to
Come
go
on.
and be like, you be great and I'm not being great. That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't work. So I had to accept how dope I am.
Come on.
To be unapologetically myself.
Yes.
And I was able to see everything I needed to see. I was able to talk to these kids and be real with them. Like, I get it. I promise you, I know. But honey, can I tell you it gets greater later? Can I tell you you're going to be awesome because you've been awesome? You just have to see it for yourself. Can I tell
Woo. Come
you
on.
how awesome you are? Like, how beautiful you are, how great you are. I see you, sis. Like, it took a minute, but it was me. I was my own biggest obstacle, and I had to get out of my own way and accept that I'm made for this.
Yes. Come on.
So I have no choice but to be about it. And once I accepted that and I let it be what it is, then we moved. Everything moved. Things
Yeah.
happened. People came to the place, resources came out of nowhere, and it was just a whole thing. And I was like, okay, I'm good. I realized I see it now. And I still slip up. I still have my moments. I'm human, but
Right.
I'm so dope.
Yes, you are.
We're so dope together. And especially as a unit. Like, I realized too, like, I learned how to ask for help. I learned how to say, I don't get this. I don't understand. I don't know. Can you help me? And I've gotten so many more yeses than I've ever gotten no's.
Wow.
And that's confirmation on top of confirmation on top of confirmation. Like, okay, I'm in it. I got it. I see it now. Thank you, God.
Yes. That is so amazing, Lindsay. That is so beautiful. And I love that you said, I had to come to the reality of just how dope I am. And I think that's so, so good. And I would encourage everyone who is watching this right now, it's time for you to come to the understanding, if you have not yet, to just say it out loud. Look, I am dope. There is greatness on the inside of me. You just have to be able to say that out loud. And I love that so much because my word for 2020 that God gave me was authentic. Be authentically, unapologetically me. And so just now, this year, 2020, I decided to step out there and do it fearlessly, just like you said. Look, I'm going to do it. And who God has attached to my life, my purpose, my calling, those are the people who are going to connect with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it so much that you were willing to say yes. You were willing to believe in yourself. John Maxwell said, I watched a video by him, and he said, you can have people believe in you all day, but as a leader, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to help others believe in themselves.
Yes.
And so that is so good. I love that so much. And then I love that you said you have to be willing to accept help too, because that was one thing that I had to do myself. Like, be willing to ask questions, to accept help when someone wants to give it to you. And then I even love how you said, with the wisdom that God has given you throughout your years, is that I understand that every idea that comes to me is not for right now, but it's for something that I need to do in the future, in the near future. And that is something that I just came to understand in life. God, I mean, because I like naturally write. So I will have a ton of books like, okay, God, which book am I supposed to write right now? And then, different ideas that come to you. And that is that creative genius that's on the inside of us that comes from God, that He gives us more and more and more. And we just have to ask Him for wisdom on what to focus on now, what to focus on for later, And that's how we're able to be effective, because we can't be effective if we're running around like a crazy person, but getting that wisdom from God on what to really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never expected me making lunches
Right.
turn into this. When I did it that first week, I think I made like 20 lunches the whole week. I gave out 20 lunches, and I was literally just like finding people, because like no one was actually calling to ask for them or anything like that. It was just like I would see people walking, like I would see families walking, moms walking with their kids and stuff. I'm like, are y'all okay? Would you like a lunch? Like, I promise you I'm okay. I promise I'm not a crazy person or anything like that. I want to help people. And once I put it out there for real, they had a news story happen, and that is when floodgates opened.
Wow.
People came out of nowhere, and it became a whole thing. And it's now to the point that it's going to continue to be a thing. And it's like something that I considered small when we started. Minor to me. This was like minimal. Like, I can make a couple lunches, every couple of days, and just see if people need them. And it's a whole thing. I've partnered with Girl Scouts of America. I got food pantries helping out. Like, people come, people show up. And that's when you do something you think is so small, but it's a baby step that leads to a giant leap, and it's a whole thing. It gives me like goosebumps.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I'm so undeserving, but then at the same time, it's like, why not me?
Why not?
Who better than me?
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm equipped. I was built for this. So
exactly.
It's for me. So it's awesome. I don't know who's watching because I can't see, but I just know, I feel like someone just needs to know that whatever is on your heart right now, whatever is like itching in your stomach right now, like, that's real. That's God. And you need to go ahead and do that thing, because He's telling you, and He's been telling you, you're uncomfortable for a reason. You feel like you feel right now for a reason. You're for a reason. Go ahead and do that thing that God has put in your heart. Write that book. Start that email list, get that newsletter out, start that blog, whatever it is that you were on, what's in your heart, put it on paper, write the vision, make it plain, and then go tell somebody that that you trust, because I promise you they can probably help you.
That's good.
That thing, make it audible, put it into the air, put it in the atmosphere, say it out loud.
Yes.
I'm manifesting right now. I've been manifesting my butt off all okay. I'm going in the rich neighborhoods with these $500,000 houses. I'm like, we're gonna get this one, we're gonna get this one. I'm looking at commercial spaces, like, that's gonna be mine, that's gonna be mine. Look, it's gonna happen. 2020 is still a great year.
That's right.
In spite of.
That's right.
In spite of, God is still in the business of blessing, and He is blessing me. He's blessing my family, my friends. I see so much greatness. People knowing their kids and reconnecting and being awesome with families coming back together. I've reconnected with family and friends and things like that, because I just I can't even say anything else. Like, I'm so grateful.
Yes.
You're grateful right now. You have to accept what it is right now, because we are in this thing together. And I'm so happy.
Yeah.
We are here together. Like, yeah, it sucks that, things aren't normal.
Right.
It happened for a reason, and it was necessary.
Yes.
For whatever reason, it's necessary.
Come on.
Take this time. Be great. Be with your people. Do what it is that God has been telling you to do.
Amen.
Delay is still disobedience. So get on it.
Get on it. I love it. Ooh, that is so good, Lindsay. I
didn't need to do all that. That was my
No, that was good. Look, this is the Power and Grace Leader Show, and we let God have His way. So it's so good, and that's so real and so true. And the last thing you said, get on it. Get on it. Don't delay anymore. Let's go. Let's move. Let's be women who walk in purpose. And that's what I'm all about. We have to be women who are bold enough, courageous enough to say, okay, God, I am all in. God, I am willing to do what you call me to do and be who you called me to be. And that is the key. And that's how we change the world. That's how we make the world a better place, right? And it starts with just saying yes to one small thing that you don't know how big and how great it's going to be. And then boom, God blows it up into something so much more than you could have ever imagined. And that's why I love Ephesians 3:20. It says, now unto him who is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works within us. All we have to do is tap into the power, tap into the greatness that's on the inside of us, and we are going to see God do great things in our lives and through our lives. And so I am just so thankful and so grateful for you, for your yes, for your willingness to not only move, but to be a spokesperson for other people to be encouraged. The word of God says, provoke to good works. And that's what you're doing. You are provoking people to good works. And that's what we should be doing. So I'm so thankful that you took time to be with us today, and just share your heart and your passion for what you do, your passion to honor God, and just your fearlessness. I love that. That is going to be my word for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Fearless. Walk in your fearlessness as a woman who is moving and operating in their area of leadership, because we are all called to something. We are all called to some area, and we have to maximize it so that God can be glorified in the earth. And so that's exactly what you're doing. So I'm so excited for you and all the great things that you're going to continue to do and what you're doing. And so I want to read a few of the comments because you were blessing us as you were talking. So it says, that goes for everyone. We must train our minds to make sound decisions, because we were talking about that wisdom. Heather said, I will accept how great I am. She said, I love this. Courtney said, come on, Lindsay, come on. Someone said, you are touching my heart. I'm almost in tears through your.
She has a foundation for young people with traumatic brain injury. She's awesome.
Wow.
She calls me every week.
Wow.
Donations.
That's amazing. That's so amazing.
A beautiful spirit.
Yes, that's so amazing. So look, Lindsay, we appreciate you. And we definitely just want to say to you, I know I can speak for everyone. Keep on going, Lindsay. We are rooting for you. And that's the importance of community. That's the importance of unity. The importance to just be willing to support one another. I'm all about, look, we're not going to have that crab in the barrel type of mindset. It's time out for that. That doesn't glorify God. That doesn't get us where we're trying to go. But we're going to continue to build one another up, support one another as women in leadership, doing it for God's glory, so that we can help change a generation, so that we can help change the world. And that's what we're called to be, world changers. Yes. So thank you so much again. I cannot thank you enough for being willing to come on with the adjustment and just share your testimony and your story. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me come and be here. Thank you for reaching out. Like, we've been supposed to have been together interviewing and linking a long time ago, and I'm glad that it finally came to happen now,
Yes. So one thing I love to do at the end is say a word of prayer. So if you don't mind, is it okay for me to pray?
Yes.
Okay. So Father God, in the name of Jesus, God, we just thank you for your love, your faithfulness, and your kindness. God, we thank you, God, for even choosing us. God, we thank you for the greatness that is on the inside of us. God, I pray right now, God, that you would just continue to bless Lindsay and every endeavor, God, that you put on her heart to go after. God, I pray, God, for increase, for expansion, and for more and for greater for her life. God, I pray, God, that you would continue to give her bigger and bigger visions. God, I thank you right now, God, that she has encouraged us to be fearless, to be fearless as women willing to walk in our purpose. God, I pray, God, that you would give us the wisdom on what to do now and what to say for later. God, I pray, God, even God, that you would give us a heart, God, and a passion for what you have called us to do, for what you have called us to. God, I thank you even now that Lindsay reminded us that we were made for this. God, that you have created us for certain things to do and to make happen in this earth, God, that will bring you glory and that will bring you honor. So, God, despite everything that is going on, God, you're going to continue to show us favor. You're going to continue to lead and direct our every path. God, we love you, we honor you, and we bless you for it now. In Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Well, thank you all again for tuning in and for watching. We love you so much. Make sure you connect with Lindsay, support what she is doing. We just found out, look, even after COVID lifts, this will not be over. This is continuing. So, Lindsay, did you have any final words that you wanted to say?
No. I mean, if anyone wants to help, I always need help. We're always collecting donations. You can follow Vision Driven 757 on all social media platforms. I'm just appreciative. I am. I'm so grateful, and I'm so humbled and proud, and all kind of good things, not just of me, but of everybody doing good things. You for this show, because this is awesome. This is so great, and I'm glad that I could even be here and be a part of it. So just everyone, we are great together, y'all, and we're so much better together. And I hope we continue to do greatness together.
Yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share this because another sister might need to hear just what blessed you today. All right. We love you all so much. Have a great day. Bye.